I'm looking at the phone right now. We're live. We are live on Hey, Facebook, we're live.
You fudgy boog.
I know. I'm actually looking at it right now, and I see us on Facebook over here on this screen. So, yes, we are live. Pull up Facebook if you want to see people's comments.
Ooh.
Authors and Chains, episode 37. We are talking about often characters. And, yes, I have ice cream, so bite me.
Yeah, ice cream, ginger ale, and coffee. We're like Brad Pitt's character from Ocean's 11.
I know. All we're missing is heroin, and we have all the addictions covered, right?
Jeez, I tell you. Okay, so this is Glacia's idea. Make her start. Go, Glacia.
It is. Glacia, we're making you start.
They're all your ideas. That's true. Oh, which reminds me. Did you get anything from the digital universe from people who wanted a topic for us to look at? You asked.
Yes. Have we mined the digital universe properly?
I should probably go back and check that, huh?
I would.
You should probably do that, yes.
I guess I should probably.
You should probably do that. Yes, we should mine the digital universe.
Well, we're okay. We're groovy for tonight, but at some point, I think that was an excellent idea, and I hope people responded.
At some point, my genius is going to wear out. And yeah, we're going to have to go to outside.
No such thing. The genius will never wear out. The genius is amazing. Yes, look at that. You see, I said something nice to somebody, and it's recorded and live on Facebook and documented. I said something nice and supportive. I did, me. I can fucking prove it now.
It exists in perpetuity now. All right.
I am only a partial douchebag.
You're a part-time douchebag. There's a difference.
I play one on TV. How's that?
Rob's wincing.
It's a skill that needs to be cultivated. All right.
It does. I need to hone that skill. So we are good.
All right, let's go.
Episode 37, Killing Characters. We have people coming on. Maybe watching this. Nobody's watching this. Everybody say hi. Say hi on Facebook. Let us know you're here. Can you feel the love tonight?
All right. Here we go. I'm going to kill myself if he sings again.
Okay.
If you want me on harmony, I mean, just let me know.
That's right. We got a little backup singer. We got our big blue balls. Hey.
Okay, for real this time.
All right, for real. Killing characters. Glacia, you feel free to start. Killing characters.
It
doesn't include killing authors, so you can't kill your co-host.
No, that's an entirely different.
No killing co-hosts. Yes.
Yeah. So this is a topic that I wanted to discuss several months ago, actually, but I don't know.
Yep.
Now it's actually coming to fruition. Anybody who's ever read any of my books, which I have gratuitously displayed behind me.
There they are.
Hey, all right.
Knows that I love torturing my characters, and that includes either killing them because of them or killing them because I want to torture somebody else who gets the lit. So
this is true.
We've got good guys and we've got bad guys.
Ice cream.
Shut up. We as authors kill the good guys and the bad guys at different points in time for different reasons, for different ends. And so, yeah, that's the rabbit hole that I want to go down today.
All right.
Why?
That's a good rabbit hole. Okay. Your like we all know, those books are just bloodthirsty. Somebody's getting wasted.
Wait, spoiler alert. Okay, we need to put a spoiler alert out there.
All right.
Anybody who's watching either the recording or on Facebook, watch out, because there may be some shit in here that is exposed.
Well, it's
somebody's exposing themselves here.
It's not a mystery. We know that. We've known for a long time. That's not a spoiler. Everybody knows that there's some bloodletting going on in
gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you pesky kids and that dog.
Get off my lawn. Anyway, you're an exception because Ray and I don't kill people the same way you do, and I don't know whether that's a commentary on how vicious you are in temperament, but
to be fair, I mean, the people we do kill, and I will say this from personal experience because I have had more than one fan corner me for killing a certain character who was beloved. And it was unfortunate that I got cornered because,
So, all right.
I was
So
asked
that's
very pointedly about that. Yes.
killing a beloved character is a subset. Let's start off basic. When do you kill?
This
When
wasn't
do you
a side
not kill?
character.
No, but killing characters. Let's put some. I want to get a border around this. We have main characters and we have second tier characters, and then we have support cast, people who come and go. You waste a main character, you're going way out on a limb. And most people accept that. Exactly. Glacia, she could teach this shit in a community college.
She could.
But
she could host a master class. She could host a master class.
It can be. It can be just as bad though if you hammer a second tier character, because that ring of second tier is very close in. Readers identify with them sometimes as much or more than a main character. And so the difference between the two is incremental. You start shooting or stabbing or garroting somebody who is a second level character, you stand just as much likelihood or risk of pissing them off. Ancillary characters, nobody gives a shit. But you hammer those two first and second level characters, you better have a damn good reason why, or gratuitous killing ain't one of them. Go.
You're right.
Gratuitous killing is not one of them. I mean, like, there's only so many reasons to kill characters, right? I mean,
oh hell, there are lots of reasons to kill characters.
Gratuity, is the thing you really need to be avoiding, right? But I mean, like, apart from that, you can kill characters to establish how much of a threat your antagonist is. That one's always fun. I mean, like, it's like the opening of so many fantasy movies, right? Where it's like, the epic battle and like the big scary boss monster comes out and like wipes out an entire army, and you're like, oh shit. And all of those people died just essentially as cannon fodder to display the power of this antagonist that must be fought by our hero. That sort of thing. But that's not exactly the same as killing a character. That's more of like a commentary.
No, gratuitous violence is like gratuitous advertising. I mean, it's never good and appropriate time to do anything gratuitous at all. I mean, it's really distasteful when you think about it. Seriously.
Only amateurs do that sort of thing.
For anybody who's watching the pod or who's listening to the podcast without the video, you are missing out right now. You gotta go to YouTube and watch.
Okay. I'll behave myself. I'll behave. Go ahead.
Yeah. So gratuitous, continue the thought. Gratuitous.
Yeah, so gratuity being the thing that we try to avoid in all things, whether it's expo dialogue, killing, sex.
Yes.
So that one we want to avoid. Of course, you can kill people to establish a threat. That's fine. So beyond that whole thing that I was going into with the fantasy, killing an army sort of thing, sometimes establishing the threat of that an antagonist poses to the rest of the MCs can be done by offing one of those secondary characters, or in my case, primary one.
Well, yeah.
just to increase.
Are you doing this, Glacia? Too? There's a couple of ways to look at what you just said. One of them is you're shocking the hell out of the reader and saying these characters are mortal and can be killed. That's the cautionary note right away. Well, they're not superheroes. They can be killed.
Yeah, they're normal. Yeah.
There are really three reasons. There is story progression, and there is emotional reinforcement, and the author's third one, smack, pay attention. This is important. How many times you literally smack the reader and go, hey, check this out. This is important.
To bifurcate that emotional impact, you have emotional impact for the reader, and you have emotional impact to your other MCs.
Yes, because you're furthering that emotional impact, reinforcing that moment, galvanizing that moment. Or you could be like R. Martin, who's like, I love this character. He's dead. I really like this character. He's dead. This guy, love him. Dead, And by the time you're end of it, you got like one 12-year-old girl who's left out of like 50 characters because you killed everybody else. You know, they're doing monologuing at the end of the last book. I mean, they got nobody else to talk to.
So wait a minute. Here's something. Does genre matter?
Yes.
No, for killing character. Well,
yes.
Genre doesn't. No, genre doesn't matter. You can kill character in any genre. How would genre?
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Character?
So if I'm reading Sense and Sensibility or Game of Thrones, I'd say gender
Dude, and
or
they all
genre
Percy,
matters.
I'm okay with that.
Right.
Dude, he can just drive that mother into the ground. Hell yeah. I think he should be like a drive-by carriaging. That's what happened.
I want to see Wuthering Heights with swords.
I want to see Wuthering Heights. There you go.
Kathy, come in here. I want to talk to you.
Bang, bang, bang. Yeah. Oh, my God. Watch him go. There's the carriage.
So can we say that it's a premise then? We can say we agree that genre is going to have something to do with this. A lot, probably.
Well, I mean, it honestly, when you're coming to those three types, I can't. Genre itself, I mean, how you kill the character obviously makes sense. You're not going to explode them on a spaceship if you're writing a mystery thriller. You know, you're not. You know, there's different. That's where the action comes into play. But for the actual genre, I mean, killing your characters and the reasons you do it are fairly standard across all genres. I can't think of genres that are specific. Go ahead. I want to hear this. Yeah, this is what I want to hear. So, I might be wrong. So
not necessarily. I think what you can, whether or not you can kill somebody. It's
right.
what your readers are expecting given a genre. If you're writing sci-fi fantasy or MST, you are opening that book expecting people to die. People are gonna die in there somewhere. If you are reading romance.
Yeah, true. Well, okay. That's a good point.
Yeah, people are going to die. Okay, yeah, I can see that. You're right. And if you're reading romance, well, no, I've read romance where people start out dying, or you've got a widowed father whose wife died in the beginning of the book. So you could
absolutely can. But generally speaking, people don't go into certain genres expecting death. If you were going through a relatively frivolous romance novel and then suddenly, one of your
we should do a poll.
Dropped dead. The reader.
Here we go. Listener
I would
poll.
kind of I don't know if I agree with that. I think we should do a poll. I think we should poll our audience and say, in genres, is there one you expect death and one you don't? That would be interesting.
Let's comment.
Hit it.
Please.
Tell us.
Yes, comment. If you expect death in a genre.
But let's
I tend to think it's genre neutral, whereas Glacia thinks it's genre specific. So who's right? Let's ask our audience.
I don't know that any genre is immune from it. I think the treatment in its setting is a little bit more crucial, not the method in which we waste somebody, but the fact that they die is a character to character first, and the reader looking over your shoulder as you're telling the story is impacted by it. That was what Glacia was saying earlier. There's two impacts here, to the story and to the reader. It's not an accident. It's deliberate, and it's for a reason. It's for a point, which solidifies why we don't kill people gratuitously.
Yeah.
But I was thinking something on the genre question. Ray, you should have picked up on this, and you failed. So now I'm going to hold you. I'm going to hold you responsible. You and I have bizarre places where death has different meaning. It's not here on Earth; it's somewhere else.
Soon?
If it is ceremonial, if it's something, if it's a food source to some bizarre alien race, we have latitude that other people don't. So let's accept that. Accept.
We do. We can blow up a planet and kill whole bunches. Like we can kill 1 billion people in science fiction and not blink an eye. Whereas in a romance, you kill 1 billion people. Well, that pretty much is the entire cast plus.
Yeah, and you're earlier. So when you were saying people expect death, your guys are shoot 'em up, bang 'em up more often than not. I would expect when going into a Ray Bayly story, there's going to be some corpses later on. When I started reading a Lark Hendricks, I know, because I know Glace, where this is going to go to pretty significant degree, but it's like I'm reading it with my head turned, expecting somebody to die. That's just because I know Glacia. If I picked that book up and started reading it without knowing anything about her, I'm going to get ambushed by somebody when her legendary bloodletting begins.
Yeah. Let's face it. There are situations in genre, like some action and some not. Mostly in TV shows where there is a lot of shooting, but nobody dies. For instance, Special Forces A-Team, where they go through 500 clips and nobody gets hit.
Yeah.
Because they're special forces and precision shooters, so they don't hit anything.
Yeah, good point.
Anyway.
Or
Tanya
red shirt
Boyford,
deaths, right?
Yeah. Or
red shirt deaths. Red shirt
or
crewmen,
your
right?
stormtroopers, which apparently the only thing.
Wait,
yeah.
would that tear space time if you had like stormtroopers on one side and red shirts on the other?
I don't know, because who actually dies in that? But here's the thing. Stormtroopers, apparently the only thing worse at shooting than stormtroopers is sand people on Tatooine.
Yeah.
If you ask fucking Obi-Wan, honestly.
No,
you know.
No, and I'm sorry, but two droids going across a corridor where there's fire coming back and forth, and miraculously, none of them. I've hated Lucas for that ever since. But
and for anybody who asked me why I say that, because there is a scene in Star Wars where Obi-Wan goes over to the Sandcrawler and goes, "See that grouping? That's precision shots. Sand people would never be able to make those precision shots. Those are Imperial stormtroopers who did that." And you're going, "Wow, there's somebody who's a worse shot than a stormtrooper," you know? So, yeah. I mean, by the way, yeah, Tanya answered our question. Let's see. Tanya says, just real quick, just dying as part of the story is not evil or premeditated. That keeps it romance if that was the genre, drama and mystery and historical fiction. That's where deaths occur in genre specific.
So you're now she makes an interesting point here that I wanted to come to, but I got beat. Yes. So thank you, Tanya, for beating me to the punch. There's a difference between removing. Yes, you did. Eliminating a character is probably how we should have said it, because someone dies of a heart attack. You aren't killing them, but they're just as dead. No. There is a distinction that needs to be made, and is that a sleight of hand? Is it just as valid to have a character die because of an aneurysm or something? I've done that. But how
many people have been killed only to come back later because they didn't really die?
Oh my God, guys, we're like pointing in a million different directions and not actually going in any of them. We can pick one.
Yes.
All right. Sorry. Rat hole time. Time to dive in a rat hole.
Let's go down one of them.
We are as accurate as stormtroopers.
Okay. Well, we're trying to flesh this out. Glacia, stop picking on us and being some kind of an intellectual bully. We're stupid people, and we're trying to work our way through this the best way we can.
This isn't the topic you're talking about. Go ahead.
Move on.
Move on. You don't need to see my ID.
All right. So, okay, we know they're not supposed to do it gratuitously. We also know there's more than one way to eliminate a character.
Right.
Mortally. But go back to the beginning, Glacia. The impact.
Well,
that's where the rubber meets the road. That is the point of it all, is that there is a story shift and there is a reaction to the reader, right?
But there is also can be a backlash. Be careful of that.
Yeah, two backlashes, and okay. Let me go down that rabbit hole. Okay. So, yes. Two times.
Sorry.
He was doing the rabbit again. How can you not like the rabbit?
Some call me Tim. Sorry, go ahead. Before we go down that rabbit hole.
The backlash.
See what I did there? See what I did?
Backlash.
There's one particular character that happens in one of my books that people are like, no! What?
Oh, you got the Vader no, yeah.
Well, there's another one that people know even harder than that, but for different reasons. That people didn't really see coming. Like, it just kind of happens all of a sudden,
right.
And there's not very much warning. And I've been messaged by a number of people when they read it, and they're like, they'll just say the character's name with a line of exclamation points after it, and I know exactly where they are. And I'm like,
right.
Yeah.
But you're not employing that as a vehicle, though, are you? Or are you? Because there's a difference between, geez, I'm getting tired of this scene, I'm going to kill somebody, and I'm being kind of facetious.
Absolutely not. That's where we're going to get into backlash.
Okay.
So it was twofold. You know, this was a way to establish a very real physical threat and some knowledge that needed to be established within the story. There was a very valuable piece of exposition there that had to be given outside of the POV of a character who could have given it. So I basically had to have the antagonist, who's not a POV character, interact with one of the POV characters so that we could establish that this was a real world threat, not a otherworldly threat.
Was that the same thing as Ray smacking his reader in the forehead, saying, "Pay attention, dumbass"?
Mine was, and that's mine was very much story progression, and I'm going to stay away from the reasons behind that because it's a huge spoiler. But I will say there was very much a reason why the specific character died. Unfortunately, I knew by killing the character, because he was one of the favorite characters of the book, there was going to be a backlash. I was going to get grief for that. You know, you kill a nice character everybody loves, they're not going to like you very much. They're going to be irritated.
That's what happened when I killed my second character.
Yeah.
People came over and they were like, why? You didn't have to do that. Why did you do that?
And
that's kill that character.
You didn't have to do that.
You can't explain it, especially if it's coming in a later book. Hint, hint, that you don't, you know, you can't explain it.
The problem is that a lot of times the reasons that we have behind doing things are not immediately.
Yes, they're not.
The second killing of character that I engaged in, the one that really, really pissed people off, the one that like broke people's hearts, that they didn't see the reason why, is because it's not really explained. But if you look at it, it's evident. My MC needed to be isolated. She needed to be put into a position where she had to struggle by herself and she was forced to form new bonds.
That's a damn good reason.
It's a damn
No, she killed him because she didn't like the character. She's like, fuck him, he's dead. That's what happened. She was like, nope.
That I killed, I did not want to kill him. That hurt my heart. I cried when I wrote that. Like, it actually makes my voice shake a little bit because it hurt me so bad to kill that character.
We might get a little invested in our characters. We do.
Yeah,
as authors,
bit here and there.
Oh, God, we do. We really do. Like, I walk around and talk about them like they're real people.
But here's the thing. You want to talk about backlash, right? That was the second bifurcation I wanted to get to. You have two different backlashes that can actually happen here. One is your readers going, what, why? But the second is relative to us. With both of the characters who I killed, I was fairly certain that they would be needed later.
Okay.
It would be nice to have them around because they knew things or they could do things that were necessary. But eliminating them had more value, and it made my protagonist's job so much more difficult that it forced me to think out of my own.
Wait. When you were considering this, did you, in first place, did you consider this in the I'm about to paint myself in a corner because of this character gone, the reader's not going to get from that character what they would otherwise have gotten? Did you balance your backlash part 1 and backlash part 2 in either direction? Did you stop and think this through and make a conscious decision, or did you make the decision and come back and go, geez, I wish I kind of wouldn't have killed Skippy because he would have been cool here, right?
You know I'm more calculated than that.
All right.
So
tell him.
No, I knew exactly what I was doing. It made me sad. It was not a decision that I wanted to make, but God damn it, I made that decision and I stuck by it. Now, you wait. Yeah. You want to go
ahead.
A little bit on a little sidebar here?
Well, you just kicked us in the nuts for doing it earlier, but yeah, go ahead.
I know, right? Yeah, no, please go ahead. That's fine.
I have no nuts.
You don't have nuts. We can't kick you there.
Guys, you just have to deal with it. So let's talk about that though, like resurrection and bringing characters back in. So I ended up using one of my dead characters in
You're
the
right, Tanya.
second to the last scene of the third book for exposition, and it happened in a memory. Now, I have that ability.
Aren't you clever?
Because
and I had, yeah. See, that's the problem, is killing characters for authors is never easy. We don't do it lightly for the most part.
Don't.
I know I don't.
You can find people who do, but you're right. It is like it's a path that you don't want to go down. Glacia had to go there to get the isolation effect on her other character. Personally, my stories are more the journey than. I don't think I could bring myself to waste an MC. I've never killed one, and I don't think I could.
Yeah. I agonized for a couple of weeks before I killed the character I killed. I mean, it was not an easy decision, and I tried to look for any other way to do it where it would make sense for the story, and I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't find another way to do it. So he needed to die.
So think about this. All three of us are in the middle of series writing.
Yes.
I'll get back to my standalones in a minute, but here's my question. Is it more difficult to waste a character in a standalone novel where there isn't any more when they get to that last page, or because we buy ourselves time and, oh, wait a while, reader, there's a reason why I cut this guy's head off. In a series...
I think it's harder. Yeah, it's harder in a series. People get more invested in a character or characters the longer a series goes on. You get a couple of books into a series, they get comfortable with those characters. You kill one, that's going to be a real effect on that person because that's a prime character.
Or beloved character. Now you piss somebody. Glacia's enraged crew who said, you didn't have to do that, when in reality she did.
Yeah, my second death definitely pissed off a lot of people. They were like, you could have gotten away without doing that. And I was like,
she killed him by sending 1,000 rabid chinchillas after the character.
No, unfortunately I didn't.
She threw him into the pit of perilous peril. That's where she...
She threw him in an oubliette. He went in an oubliette.
Sorry.
The pit of eternal stench.
Spanking.
What?
The pit of eternal stench.
God, it's happened. Stop.
All right, sorry. That was my fault. Sorry. The pit of peril.
That's awesome.
So okay,
we tend to crib those.
All right, so the standalone or series, you think there is a difference. I wondered if it might be more difficult to do that in a standalone novel because end of that story, you don't get to resuscitate anybody. You don't get to relive them. It is a self-contained unit. It's finite. I don't have the luxury of another book a year from now that I can get back to that character. If I kill them, they're dead as dead can be. Now I can't use them again.
But the book is also over, so it's kind of inconsequential. I mean, when you...
What do you mean it's inconsequential? No, it's not. It's absolutely consequential. There's consequences when somebody's heart stops, wacko.
We brought them to life. We can kill them.
That's a good point.
That's really God complex kicking in.
I was just going to say, yeah, but it's valid though. We created them. We can kill them. It is a God complex, but people don't not die in the real world, and so what you're doing is you're mirroring real world.
You're mirroring reality. You're showing that nobody is ever 100% safe, right?
And that was back at the beginning of the discussion. That was something that I was going to hold up like a trophy and say, get used to it. People die, then characters die. What's the difference? If you were looking for a justification, there it is.
I have my chief running gag that happened inadvertently where I have a character I've tried to kill now several times and just won't die. I mean, no matter what you do, the guy just always comes back. Literally. I've had more people comment on that. He's everybody hates the character, but he literally, no matter what you do, you can't kill the guy. It's kind of like the running thing now. Yeah. And it happened quite by accident. You know, it literally did.
You can get away with that in your genre. Again, that's where I would also use that to cite the fact that it is not the same.
Well, it is important. Genre is important. So I won that battle. Thank you very much. I want my 20
Well,
bucks.
genre changes your options. It does. Genre does change your options.
Yes, it really, really does. You could blow someone's head into pink mist in sci-fi. You can't.
Well, you can do that in any genre, really. I mean, come on.
Well, there's no. Hold on a second. She's right. You and I can get away with that in remote places across the galaxy nobody's ever seen. She does that shit in Lark Hendricks' town. Cops are going to come and she's going to be incarcerated and the story's over. It's a lot easier for us to kill, frankly, than it is for her to do it.
Yeah.
Because in space, nobody can hear you suck. I know.
You're going down another peril or pit of perilous peril. I can hear it coming. Okay.
Perilous peril.
Perilous peril.
Is that a name?
Name. What is your favorite color?
What's the airspeed? All right, I'm not going to do it.
Dog.
Okay, all right. So we're
only allowed to do this if I'm wearing a Monty Python shirt.
All right, sorry. New rule.
Answer me these questions 3, the other side of the bridge ye shall see.
God, guys.
All right, sorry.
Yeah.
I have amnesia. Remember, I can't keep track of you guys.
All right. Now, wait a minute. Did you make your point with the two, bifurcated two? Bifurcated is just a word that in my household is a point of ridicule, just so you know. So when you say bifurcated, I just want to kill myself. So you covered both of them because they dealt with backlash. End of that process is the story continues. Yeah. And what I got from that, which is really powerful, is not only do you not do it gratuitously, but you don't do it lightly either. There is a reason that it spreads out like tendrils. Ray's got to think sometimes 2 books ahead when he wastes somebody. Are you taking the same, is that approach a preface to something that you need later on? Or is it always in that book's moment?
Okay. First character I killed out of necessity for the MC, even though he would have been handy to keep around for later. Second.
That was isolation thing.
That was isolation and expo.
Okay.
I needed to expose the real world threat of the antagonist on the protagonist. Okay. And I needed a vehicle to do it. And so it was just that made the most sense. Plus it isolated the character. So it furthered 2 or 3 different things that I needed. The second character that I killed, that was truly about isolation and heartbreak and just wrecking that character. I needed to wreck her. Right. And it did. And it wrecked my readers too.
So do you disagree with them when they say, and I don't mean this lightly, when they tell you you didn't have to do that? Is there a point? Could you have done this
that was
way besides
mean.
waste them?
I could not.
Not that it's mean, that it was a needless death. Could you have achieved what you needed?
It was not a needless death. It needed to happen.
Okay.
It had to happen. That character had to go. That character had to not be there anymore because that character...
Irrevocable is your point.
He was too helpful.
You needed him gone, completely gone, for real gone. Okay.
Yes, for real gone.
Gotcha.
Now, now here's the funny thing. You talk about furthering story. I actually killed a third character that, hi God, there's so many spoilers here. Like,
well, the problem is you got pitfalls. I'm kind of keeping quiet because there are things coming that.
No, you know what? No, this is for writers. I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna.
Oh, you're gonna do the spoilers? Come on, man.
Oh, let her go. I like it when she misbehaves. Go ahead, go, Glacia.
Spoiler alert! If you haven't read my books, click off now. For the love of God, just click off now. Okay.
Run away! Run away!
Do it now.
I killed my antagonist at the end of book 2. The entirety of book 3 exists without the antagonist. There is no antagonist.
Wait, what? Right. What?
Right? So,
by the way, all right, never mind.
Sorry, man.
If it's for writers, she says as though that's some kind of currency. Okay.
I know, right? Like, oh my God, we're gonna do it right for writers. I know.
Yeah, right. Hey,
What
you
the
know,
hell?
here's me being a piece of shit, but there's nothing you can do about it because it's for writers. Okay.
The reason that
I'm gonna throw the book at you.
That's like a 250-mile throw. You go ahead and try.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I'm throwing it. I'm throwing it.
Open it up and read the first, like the second POV that talks about that antagonist.
Wait. All right. Hold on. Matt Damon. Okay.
Seriously, he's got the.
Found it. Right here.
Yep, right there, right there.
All right. So
is that there's a multitude of very deep and varied reasons for killing characters, some of which may fly in the face of the things that you're supposed to and not supposed to do in writing, right? So like you looked at me funny a second ago, and I'm assuming it's because you're like, wait, what? How the fuck does that work? Because I'm saying I kill the antagonist and the story keeps going. How does that work?
Right.
So what I mean by that is that it turns the narrative a lot.
well, yeah, it has to. Sure.
When you kill a character. So like that's the thing that I like to focus on when I choose to off somebody, is that's the opportunity to flip the narrative in some way. So when I killed my first character, it went from, oh, there's this threat, but it's a mystery and we're gonna solve it and it'll be okay, to holy shit, these people are gonna die. This is a way bigger and more urgent problem than we thought it was going to be, and holy shit, there's different dangers here, not just here, but like everywhere. When I killed my second character, we were like, oh shit, we can't predict what the fuck this bitch is going to do next, and why would you do that to Lark? What the hell? That engenders a whole lot of reader MC empathy. All of a sudden, these readers are holding Lark, going, oh my God, I can't believe she just did that to you. And then they're gonna walk along with Lark way more closely. So they're not going to be
solidifying the connection with the MC.
Yeah. So that's not a vehicle. That's deliberate as shit.
Absolutely.
That's a reinforcement. That's a reinforcement of the character's connection with the reader. Yes.
That's a little bit drug dealer-ish, you know. I mean,
that's a little bit drug. That's manipulative as fuck.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, absolutely. I'm playing with people's hearts, playing with their emotions. Absolutely, I will admit it. 100%. But the thing is that I know that I'm going to torture a character, and this character is going to slog through stuff.
Right.
I'm going to complain from time to time. And if I don't have a character that people can either sympathize or empathize with, they're going to roll their eyes and be like, oh my God, will you just shut up and do your goddamn job? If I'm going to torture her, people have to be able to feel for her. And so I have to hurt my readers in order to be able to continue to hurt.
That's a great way of putting it. You're exploiting the daylights out of that built-in empathy, which is exactly precisely what you as a fiction writer ought to do. It's not bizarre or weird. The readers don't, I mean, they can pick up a newspaper if they want boring reading. If they want that empathy, that empathic experience, that's why they pick up a fiction novel, because they want to go somewhere else. They want to be surprised. They want to be horrified. They want to be thrilled. It's all of those things. It doesn't mean they can't bitch and piss and moan about it, but that's the adventure ride that they expect to be able to take. Manipulative as hell, sure, but they'd be pissed off without it at the end.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, I've had a number of comments and reviews and DMs that I've received from people who have said they threw the book. They had to put the book down for a few days, but then they couldn't help but go back to see what happened. That I made them ugly cry. And I'm, the whole time I'm like, yes, that's what needs to happen. Because I know the fuckery that they're going to get put through in book 3, because that's the thing. In book 2, that's the bloodletting. Like, everybody dies in book 2, and then we sort everything out in book 3. So, like, at the end of book 2, people are like, "What the fuck just happened here?"
Well,
like, nobody knows.
They should be exhausted, right?
Do what?
I have come across series and books where they have arbitrarily killed characters. Killed characters just for the sake of killing a character.
Yeah.
No particular reason, no particular plot line reinforcement, nothing good came of it. They just got rid of a character. And I could not understand for the life of me why, having read the series. So
That's
there
gratuitous
are authors
worship,
who will
right?
just kill a character gratuitously. Yes.
Exactly right. That's my cautionary note earlier, is that there's plenty
Yes.
of authors who just go, man, this is getting kind of dull. I'm wasting this guy. That'll get everybody's
Yes.
attention. No, that's gratuitous as it could possibly be. The antithetical is Glacia crawling around like a spider in the corner going, this is going to mess with people bad.
Right.
She's not doing
And
it for, there's a reason for why she does what she does. I stay on the high side of it, and I don't kill people unless they deserve it.
No.
I mean, the ones I'm working on now, I have a character death that I agonized over because it was a very important character, but one who needed to die. And I think that's always the hardest going into writing a character when you know you're going to have to kill that character, because it definitely colors the way you write the character. And I knew before I even started writing the character was going to die. I did. I knew, had to. Could not be around.
Yep.
So
I've been there. And you have to be very, very careful to not become uninvested in that character, because it shows up sure as shit. It's probably more difficult when you know full well that this guy is going to be wasted. You have to be really deliberate and careful to write them in a way that makes them likable, that the empathy builds. You know you're going to shoot him, but it has to be done that way. I think it's more difficult to do that, and as opposed to coming along where you think, shit, I've got to Glacia Cronk this guy. He needs to go. He has to be killed. That's different, because it's a bit as much of a surprise to you as it is to anybody else, which makes it more difficult. We get to where we know them, and it's hard to waste them.
This is true. This is very true.
Well, good. I like this one. This was a good
one.
Now, Glace, don't forget, please go back and check to see if we had any suggestions for topics, because I really want to know what listeners think of that. I'm very, very interested in something that we feed them whatever we damn well. Well, excuse me. Let me recast. We feed them what Glacia wants to feed them every week. It would be cool to let's see what they come up with. They'll ask a question.
It's true. If they have burning desires,
I'm running out of my ginger ale, so that's it for me. I'm done.
All right, we're good. Excellent.